Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Tuesday, December 6th, 2022 Clay County Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Tonight we will hear 7 cases. Prior to any discussion the board members may have on the case being presented, we will begin with a report from the planning and zoning staff that will summarize each case. We will then ask the applicants to step up to the podium to ask or answer any questions and present support for their application. We ask the applicant to begin by stating their full name and address for the record, as these meetings are being recorded. We will then ask for any public participation that may want to support the case being heard, and then anyone that may oppose the case being heard. Again, we ask that all participants begin by stating their full name and address, and please remember the topic of discussion needs to remain relevant to the case being heard. Purpose of the Planning and Zoning Board is to hear the cases and make recommendations to the Clay County Commission. The Commission will review and decide the cases heard tonight on December 14th. Is that correct, Chip?
Yes,
Okay.
6 p.m.
Yep, December 14th at 6 p.m. In this room. Can we begin tonight with a roll call of attendance, please?
Terry Griffin,
Present.
David Rodas,
Present.
Mike Brinkley,
Present.
Brad Scarlett, Marvin Davis,
Present.
and Tom Decker.
Okay, as a reminder to board members up here, all motions made this evening are being made to approve or deny, and your vote will either be a yes or no to approve that motion. With that being said, can I get a motion to approve or deny the minutes of our November 1st meeting as presented?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Can I get a roll call vote, please?
David Rodas,
Yes.
Mike Brinkley,
Yes.
Terry Griffin,
Yes.
and Marvin Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the first case we will hear tonight is case number November 22nd, 155F, a request for final plat approval for the proposed subdivision of Northbrook Farms located at approximately 12419 A Highway. The applicant is Steve Werger, representing Conrad and Shannon Stumpfenhaus. Can we get a staff report, please?
Yes, Chairman, would like to add the staff report as part of the official record.
So be it.
So the first case, if you remember, this was continued from the last Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. We had a couple outstanding issues. The first one being that we hadn't received the approval from the county on-call engineer. We do have that approval now. And then the second issue was the existing stormwater pipe that I'm going to talk about here in a minute. So I'll kind of detail that. I want to summarize the case just real briefly because you have heard it before. It's on the screen outlined in yellow, 144 acres. It's already been rezoned. The rezoning and preliminary plat were approved earlier this year. Here's the plat. Basically, there's a 10-acre lot with an existing house that has access off of A Highway, and there's 4 additional lots that would come off this extension of this cul-de-sac that the developer will be responsible for putting in. So a total of 5 lots. Here, again, you can see the surrounding area. The Eagle View subdivision that was approved this year is right across the street on the west side of A Highway as well. The approval criteria for final plat, it basically comes out of the Land Development Code, and it states that if it complies with the preliminary plat, then it should be approved. Staff believes this does comply with the preliminary plat. Since this has infrastructure, it goes through a different process than normal. Once the plat is approved by the county commission, the developer installs the infrastructure. The agencies inspect and approve that infrastructure. Once approved, that's when the developer can record the final plat and sell lots. There is a 2-year maintenance period for that infrastructure when a letter of credit is required, and the county accepts that infrastructure into the system after that 2-year period. Staff is recommending approval with conditions. A few of the conditions are listed up there. I want to hit that the developer is responsible for resurfacing Fishing River Road from Woodland Lane to the end of the new cul-de-sac. The developer will be responsible for paying the inspection fees for the county on-call engineer. And the biggest change since last month is that staff added a condition that the developer shall be responsible for that existing pipe, and I'll show you that here in a second, that's on the adjacent property. So if you remember from last month, it's not on the property that we're subdividing. It's on an existing property, and that they shall replace that pipe because the county doesn't know what kind of condition that pipe is currently in, and that pipe is going to hook onto other infrastructure, county infrastructure. And if they replace that pipe, then the county would be responsible for the maintenance of that pipe after that 2-year maintenance period. The developer will also be responsible for getting an easement from that property owner so the county can get on their property to maintain that infrastructure. And so this picture is kind of showing where that existing pipe is. So here's the cul-de-sac that is going to be extended to the north into the proposed lot. And currently there's a pipe right here that takes all this storm water, kicks it under this driveway, and empties it into that pond. So what that condition states is that this pipe has to be replaced by the developer. As part of the construction plans, it's going to kick it over to this side, so it picks up all the stormwater on this side of the new street, and then would empty out where it is now, so that easement would be needed across this property to maintain it. So, like I said, the planning and zoning staff spoke with Highway Department. I think Highway Department's on board with that condition. We feel it's the cleanest way to do it. It doesn't, if we don't have that pipe replaced, we don't know what kind of condition it's in, and it may require the county replace it, within a few years if it's not replaced now. So that's the biggest change. I'm happy to answer any questions that board members have, and the applicant is present as well.
Any of the board members have any questions for staff? Okay, can I get the applicant, please step forward and state your full name and address?
Good evening, Steve Warder, 6127 Northwest Pine Ridge Circle, Parkville, Missouri, 64152. I'm here tonight on behalf of the owners. We're in agreement with the conditions. We have talked to the property owner about the easement that Kip was talking about, and we feel we can obtain that easement. And just here to answer any questions you might have. I think everything else has been resolved.
I believe so. Any of the board members have any questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you, Steve. Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that supports the application being heard? Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that opposes the application being heard? Okay. You don't need to come up and rebuttal any audience participation there. So I guess we just, any board discussion here on this case? It's pretty self-explanatory. Preliminary's already been approved. We're waiting for the 2 conditions to be met from the last meeting. Okay. So I guess we can ask for a motion and a second to approve or deny the final plat approval for the proposed subdivision of North Berwick Farms with the 15 conditions set forth in the staff report. Can I have a motion?
Move to approve with conditions.
Second.
Okay, can I get a roll call vote, please?
David Rodas,
Yes.
Mike Brinkley,
Yes.
Terry Griffin,
Yes.
Marvin Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, the second case we are here tonight is case number December 22nd-159RZ/P. This is a request for rezoning from agricultural district to residential rural district with an agricultural land preservation overlay district, and preliminary plat approval for the proposed subdivision Walnut Ridge Farms located at approximately 17210 Thomas Lane. The applicants are Jerry and Mary Jane Duff. Could we get a staff report, please?
Yes, Chairman, would like to add the staff report as part of the official record.
So be it.
So, got this one pulled up here. This is a rezoning preliminary plat. The subject property is outlined in yellow, approximately 22 acres, zoned ag, has one house on the property right there. Technically, it's 2 lots right now, and I'll show you this a little bit here in a minute, but there is a really small lot around the house that has some funky boundaries that you'll kind of see on this picture here. So you see these real light gray lines right here. That's one parcel at this point, and everything else is a larger parcel. So the proposal is to make it more uniform and create Lot 1 in the purple, Lot 2 in the kind of greenish with the existing house. This would allow for one buildable lot. The plan is, I believe, for their daughter to be able to construct a house on Lot 1. We would rezone it to R1, which is the county's current standard for lots between 10 and less than 20 acres. They would be required to do an agricultural land preservation on each lot, which is just a way to preserve a portion of the lot. And like I said, Lot 1 would become a buildable lot for one existing single-family home. This one is located in the urban services tier. There is an exception in the urban services tier for 10-plus acre lots, as long as there's an agricultural land preservation included. This gives you the surrounding area a little bit better. So their subject property has the red dot on it. This is the Platte County line right there. And anything kind of in this grayish is City of Smithville. So anything that has color on it is unincorporated. Anything gray is City of Smithville. So we did reach out to the City of Smithville, both their road district and their community development, and we did not receive any objections from the City of Smithville. So every month we talk about rezoning criteria. This comes out of the Land Development Code. Staff believes these 5 criteria have been addressed. This follows our normal process, which includes publishing the case in the newspaper. We sent a total of 26 certified letters. We posted a sign on site, and this follows our normal process of going in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission and then County Commission for final approval. As with any case where we're trying to create buildable lots, we included outside agencies, including the Clay County Highway Department, Smithville Highway Road Department, Platte County Water District Number 8, the Smithville Fire District, and the Clay County Public Health Center, and we received no objection from any of those agencies. Staff is recommending approval with one condition, which is just some minor changes to the recording copy of the final plat. We did receive some phone call inquiries about this case, and there were no objections stated once those folks learned what the proposal was. So I would be happy to answer any questions the board members have, and a representative of the applicant is present as well.
Okay. Any of the board members have any questions for staff? Okay. Let's see here. Can I get the applicant to step forward, please, and state your name and address?
Rachel Robinson, 11507 North Kentucky Avenue, Kansas City, Missouri, 64157. I'm the daughter of Mary Jane and Jerry Duff.
Okay. Do you have anything additional you'd like to present to support your application?
We have submitted everything that the county required and should be in order.
You understand and agree with the staff's report
Yes.
and the condition set
Yes.
forth in the report? Okay. You have any questions?
No.
Thank you. Any of the board members have any questions for the applicant? Sorry. Okay, you can go sit. Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that supports the case being heard? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that opposes this application? Okay. Once again, any board members have anything they want to discuss, add to this? Pretty self. We see these every month. Pretty simple, I think. Okay, can I get a motion and a second to approve or deny the request for rezoning from agricultural district to residential rural district with the agricultural land preservation overlay district for the proposed subdivision Walnut Ridge Farms? Can I get a motion, please?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
David Rodas,
Yes.
Mike Brinkley,
Yes.
Terry Griffin,
Yes.
and Marvin Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. With the approval of the rezoning, I'll move forward and request a motion And a second on the preliminary plat of Walnut Ridge Farms with the one condition set forth in the staff report.
I move to approve with condition.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve the request. Is there any other comments from the board members? Okay, can I get a roll call vote, please?
David Rotis,
Yes.
Mike Brinkley,
Yes.
Terry Griffin,
Yes.
Marvin Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Q, let's move on. Third case we're here tonight is case number December 22nd, 160RZ/P. This is a request for the final plat approval for the proposed subdivision of Walnut Ridge Farms located at approximately 17210 Thomas Lane. Again, the applicants are Jerry and Mary Jane Duff. Any of the board members have any questions for staff?
I just have I'll give you a short report, if that's okay.
Please do.
Okay, so we'd like to add that report as part of the official record.
So be it.
So a final plat comes out of section 151-3.6 of the Land Development Code. Basically, that section says if the final plat is compliant with the preliminary, then it should be approved. Staff believes this is compliant, and we're recommending approval with one condition, which is that same condition from the previous case, a change to the recording copy. Again, happy to answer any questions you have, and the applicant obviously is present.
Thank you. Rachel, can you step forward again, state your name and address?
Rachel Robinson, 11507 North Kentucky Avenue, Kansas City, Missouri, 64157.
Thank you. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that supports the application being heard? Is there anyone in the audience that wants to oppose the application being heard? Okay, there's none. One more time, any of the board members have any questions, comments on this case? Okay, can I get a motion and a second to approve or deny the final plat with the conditions set forth in the staff report of the proposed subdivision Forest Rocky Creek?
Move to approve with condition.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve. Do any of the board members have any comments? Can I get a roll call vote, please?
David Rotis,
Yes.
Mike Brinkley,
Yes.
Terry Griffin,
Yes.
and Marvin Davis.
Yes,
Motion approved, carries.
thank you. Okay, the fourth case we're here tonight is case number December 22nd, 161RZ/F. This is a request for rezoning from residential low-density district to agricultural district and final plat approval for the proposed subdivision of Dowdle Estates, replat of lots 2 and 3 of Dowdle Estates, located at approximately 16610 Old BB Highway. The applicant is Gail Dowdle. Sorry if I'm butchering that. Oh, good. Good, thanks. Any of the board members have any questions or comments for staff? Or actually, can we get a,
Yeah, let's just do a report first.
let's do a report.
And I would like to add that report as part of the official record.
Please do so.
Okay, so this is a replat, so it is a rezoning and a final plat because the property's already been platted. The original subdivision was platted in May of 2004. It's zoned R1A, which is an old residential zoning district that we don't use any longer. I've got the part of the old plat pulled up now, and what we're considering today is we've got this lot 3 right here that's the L-shaped. That's roughly 38 and a half acres. And we've got lot 2, which is a 10-acre parcel. The proposal today is to put those 2 lots into one lot. And I'll show you there's different reasons why we're doing that. So that's what the proposal is. Here is what it would look like after the 2 lots are combined. There is a house on the property, and then there's a large barn. So this large barn is part of why we're doing this. Is you can see this is where that property line is for that 10-acre lot, and it goes right through that barn. So this may look familiar because the Planning and Zoning Commission and County Commission vacated this utility easement last year that ran along that property line, and now we're coming back to get rid of that property line, combine it into one lot, so that barn isn't sitting on a property line. There's multiple easements that run across this property. There's a 100-foot gas line easement that runs kind of east-west. There's a 100-foot northwest electric easement that runs north-south. The proposal is to rezone this back to agricultural. Our current standard for ag zoning is 20 acres. Obviously, this is much larger than that, being 48.5 acres. This is located in the rural low-density tier. Staff believes this is consistent with that because we're talking one dwelling unit on 20-plus acres. Here's the surrounding area. Here's the two lots with the dot, roughly where that barn is. This is the Jesse James farm. There's a lot of large ag zone land just to the east, and then there's a lot of R1 3 to 5 acre lots in this area. Has those same 5 rezoning criteria that we talk about every month. Staff believes these have been addressed. This follows the same process, got published in the newspaper. We sent a total of 27 certified letters, and it must go in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission and County Commission to be approved. This one's a little bit different because we're not creating any additional lots, so we didn't require any approvals from the Health Department or Water District because we're not proposing any new service. The Highway Department and Fire District were aware of this proposal and did review this, and we received no objections. Staff is recommending approval with one condition. We did receive some phone call inquiries. There were some concerns expressed about the potential of future ag uses. I don't know how to address that. It's any lot that's 20-plus acres that's zoned ag is allowed unlimited animals as long as they don't become a nuisance. So just wanted to pass that along. But again, staff is recommending approval. The applicant is present, and I would be happy to answer any questions the board members have.
Thank you, Kip. I have a question. On the conditions on page 5, the very first one where it says remove structures, is that part of the actual?
So that's a good question. So when it's a rezoning final, when it's been platted before, since the way we do our process at planning and zoning, if we have a preliminary plat, that's the plat that they put all structures on, whether it's buildings, ponds. But since we don't have that in this case, they put the structures on the final plat, but we add that as a condition because we don't want that on the recording copy because those structures eventually will go away and don't exist forever.
Thank you.
But good question.
Appreciate it. I don't think we've ever had a concern of going to ag. You know, it's usually the other way around, but.
Agreed.
Okay, can I get the applicant to step forward and state your name and address, please?
Yes, sir. My name's Gail Dottle. I live at 16610 Old VB Highway.
Thank you. And Gail, do you understand and agree with the staff's report?
Yes, I do. In
Okay.
fact, I want to mention that they did an excellent job. Kip and Shane, his staff is well versed. They really look into things in depth, and I had questions, and I had more questions, and so I want to make sure that I understood everything, and they were very, very good, very professional. And I feel very confident that this can, and I hope that you all will approve it, because they have done a lot of work going into this unusual event.
Thank you, appreciate that. We would all agree with you. Okay, do any of the board members have any questions for the applicant? Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that supports the application being heard? Come on up, state your name and address, please.
Keith Warrenson, 21024 Lisa Lane, Kearney, Missouri. I guess the group here does not object to putting the land together. Our objection is putting in agricultural, because that puts anything on that land which is right next to all the homes that are right next to it.
Okay, can you give me 1 second? Sorry, because right now we're just hearing from people that want to support, and then we're going to go into the ones that do not support it. So you'll just give us literally 10 seconds here This is being recorded. We need to get these on the minutes, so if you'll just hold on for 1 second. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to support the application being heard? Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that opposes the application being heard? Okay, could you please state your name and address again, please?
Keith Warrenson, 21024 Lisa Lane,
Thank
Kearney,
you.
Missouri. The question we have is that the zoning it into one zone is not a problem. It's the agricultural section that we're concerned with. And I don't know if you can actually put an addendum into this that says swines cannot be put onto that land. You know, we don't care if cattle, we don't care if there's animals, you know, like cows, chickens, we don't care as long as the swine is not in that land. So I guess our question is that possible to put addendum in?
Kip, you want to comment on that? I mean,
Yeah, so I'll give you my 2 cents worth. I think it's possible that something like that could be done, but I would worry about the precedents we would be the board would be setting, because if we're going to do it for this property, then I would think you would need to do it on every property that we rezone to ag. So I don't know what would make this unique, that should be added where we haven't done that in the past. So that's why staff, you know, I briefly spoke to the neighbors on the phone today. Staff would not support a condition like that. But the board could do that if they chose to.
Okay, thank you.
I can guarantee you, me, as a board member, would not support that whatsoever.
I don't think I would either. And, you know, we don't want to make that precedent, or at least I wouldn't want to make that precedent as well, Kip. And it's obviously a pretty good sized lot. I mean, if she, you know, or the owners would like to have swine, pigs, cows, horses, I mean,
tell you right now, swine are not going on my property.
okay, yeah. And I just don't think that, as a board, we want to make that amendment. So
Thank you for interrupting me. I didn't mean to do that.
No, that's all right.
Very outspoken in the fact that I absolutely, and I was challenged when I came in here about that. I don't know where that came from.
Well, Gail, if you're going to make more comments,
Yes,
will
sorry.
you
I'll-
switch, go up to the microphone, just so we can hear for the recording? And you can go to the,
I just would not put swine on that property, you know, and I am the owner that makes that final decision, you know, and so I don't know where that came from. You know, when I came in, that was asked of me, and I thought it was most unusual. No.
Okay, thank you.
And we suspect that's true, except that it doesn't always stay with the same owners.
Right.
And that's our problem, is that if it goes to agriculture, if you can't make an addendum, then I'd say we just soon keep it as residential.
Okay, thank you.
and I guess I would add that, you know, if that would be done, you know, the land development code currently talks about unlimited animals on 20-plus acres, but they can't become a nuisance. So there is some protection there where, you know, if animals would become a nuisance, then it would become a code case. But if we're going to apply that to all properties throughout the county, then that rule just needs to change where it's not unlimited. But
Right.
again, I would not recommend that.
Right, what
That
we're
you
setting
do that.
ourselves up for is, I mean, swine, I mean, some people don't like roosters, some people don't like horses. I mean, we don't want to get into that, you know, at least I don't.
It's a precedent you don't want to start.
Right. Okay, is there anyone else in the audience that would like to oppose the application being heard? Come on up. Can you state your full name and address, please?
Samuel Parisa, 21014 Lisa Lane. We didn't really collaborate on our feelings on this, but I mean, the damage is really done. If she was going to put any kind of animals there, she's already got that in agriculture, but the new part that she's wanting to add is clear on the far away side from our homes. But I will ditto what Keith had said, that I truly would not want swine in my backyard. And I mean, they wouldn't have invited me here if they didn't think that there was some kind of question to be presented. So I want to state my feelings. I definitely don't want to deal with pigs in my yard. And besides, I doubt if she'll own that forever. I mean, there's hardly any property that anyone hangs on to forever. And I plan on being there for the rest of my life. So that's my feelings. Thank you.
Thank you. Would the applicant like to respond to any of the public participation
That
comments?
property- I have owned that property since 1992. There's not been a pig on there. And while I'm not going to live forever, I do have say-so, and my son is looking at this, and we're wanting to do some things. And so possibly, you know, but I love the land, and I'm surprised at the questions that are being asked of this, because there's no one around there, you know, and so that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. Okay, public participation is now closed. Any comments from the, oh, I'm sorry. I did not see you back there.
I'm Tom Ballard, 16723 Lisa Lane, and I'll tell you why some of these people are really concerned, and I was kind of one. North of us, do y'all know where, Baptist Church Camp's at up there? Mm-hmm. They just they used to have a hog farm up there, and at certain times, you didn't want to stand out in your front yard and that was clear up there. That's quite a ways. But they just they had big lots. It was a big lot. And that's why people are concerned about it. You know, they don't want somebody coming in there and opening up a great big hog farm down there. And that's why everybody's concerned about it. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to close the public comments and ask the board members if you have any questions, concerns you want to bring up. Okay. I'm going to ask, can we get a motion and a second to approve or deny the rezoning from residential low-density district to agricultural district for the proposed subdivision of Dowdle Estates replat, a replat of lots 2 and 3 of Dowdle Estates. Can we have a motion, please?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve the request. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
David Rotis.
Yes.
Mike Brinkley.
Yes.
Terry Griffin.
Yes.
And Marvin Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay.
And you can just, I don't have an additional report, you can just roll right into the final
Okay, with the approval of the
motion.
rezoning, I'll move forward and request a motion and a second to approve or deny the final plat of Dowdle Estates with the conditions set forth in the staff report.
Move to approve with condition.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve the request with a condition. Is there any other comments from the board members? Okay, a roll call vote, please.
David Rotis.
Yes.
Mike Brinkley.
Yes.
Terry Griffin.
Yes.
Marvin Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, the fifth case we're going to hear tonight is case number December 22nd, 162P. This is a request for preliminary plat approval for the proposed subdivision of Catron Farms, located at approximately 30018 Northeast 96th Street. The applicants are Daniel and Erica Catron. Can I get a staff report, please? And am I saying that correctly? Okay. All right, great.
Yes, we'd like to add the staff report as part of the official record.
So be it.
So, got this one pulled up on the screen. It's outlined in red. Currently, it's roughly 64 acres. It's zoned ag. There's one single-family home on the property right there. This is in highway right here, 96th Street on the south side. The proposal is to create, I'll give it to you, it's an odd-looking lot, but it meets all our requirements. Basically subdividing the house and 20-plus acres from the farmland. So we're basically taking 164 acres, making it into 2 lots. The farmland on the east side meets one of our exemptions to platting. If you have 40-plus acres with 100 feet of road frontage with access, that means you can divide land by deed, and it doesn't have to be included in the plat. So that's why the plat just shows the 120-acre lot. It's located in the rural low-density tier. You'll see that here in a minute. Staff believes this is consistent with the comp plan because we're talking about 1 dwelling unit per 20 acres. So here's the subject property right there with the red dot. That's the whole 64 acres. Ray County to the east, again in highway, this is Cooley Lake. You can see this is not very densely populated. It's just a bunch of ag zone land with just a couple residential zoned properties to the south and west. This is just a preliminary and final. So we're not rezoning anything because the lot is larger than 20 acres, so it can keep its ag zoning. So we did not have to put this case in the newspaper. Instead of certified letters, we sent regular mail letters. There were a total of 11 of those, but it still has to be approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission and County Commission. With any of our cases, we include the outside agencies, which include the Highway Department, the City of Excelsior Springs, and the Public Health Center. We received no objection from any of those departments. We did receive some phone calls. Once the neighbors learned what the project was, there were no objections stated, and staff is recommending approval with one condition, which seems to be the theme of the night, which is just some changes to the recording copies of the plat. So staff would be happy to answer any questions you have, and the applicants are present as well.
Okay, do any board members have any questions for staff? Okay, can I get the applicant, step forward and state your name and address, please?
And it feels like you're calling people to the principal's office tonight for some reason. I don't know why that is.
I'm sorry.
Daniel Catron, 30018 Northeast 96th Street, Excelsior Springs, Missouri. As he stated, we're just, our farmer that we lease the cropland to approached us about purchasing the cropland portion of our property. And we believe we've gone through all the proper steps to divide it off to do so.
Okay. Do you have anything to present to support your application? Anything more than what's in the staff report?
I don't have anything else to present.
Okay, and you understand and agree with the staff's report?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And any questions for any one of us up here?
I do not have any questions.
All righty. Thank you very much. Any of the board members have any questions for the applicant? You can sit. Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that supports the application being heard? I see none. Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that opposes the application being heard? None. Okay. Since there's no public participation, any of the board members have any other comments? Any comments whatsoever? Okay, can we get a motion and a second to approve or deny the preliminary plat approval for the proposed subdivision of Catron Farms with the conditions set forth in the staff report?
Move to approve with condition.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve the request. Any comments from the board? Can I get a roll call vote, please?
David Rodas,
Yes.
Mike Brinkley,
Yes.
Terry Griffin,
Yes.
Marvin Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. We'll go right ahead with case number 6.
Yes, I do have I will have a report for this one.
Okay. Case we're here tonight, case number December 22nd, 163F. This is a request for final plat approval for the proposed subdivision of Catron Farms located at approximately 30018 Northeast 96th Street. The applicants are Daniel and Erica Catron. Could we have a staff report, please?
Yes, we'd like to add the staff report as part of the official record.
Please do so.
So again, as with the previous final plat, section 151-3.6D of the Land Development Code states that if the final plat is compliant with the preliminary plat, it should be approved. Staff believes it is compliant, and we are recommending approval with the one condition, which are the changes to the recording copy of the final plat. And happy to answer any questions the board members may have.
Okay, any of the board members have any questions? Okay, would the applicant step forward, please? State your name and address.
Daniel Catron, 30018 Northeast 96th Street, Excelsior Springs.
Okay, Daniel, do you agree with the staff's report?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Okay, do any board members have any questions for the applicant? You may sit, please. Okay, public participation. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that supports the application being heard? I see none. Is there anyone in the audience that'd like to comment that opposes the application being heard? I see none. Okay, can we get a motion and a second to approve or deny the final plat approval for the proposed subdivision of Catron Farms with the conditions set forth in the staff report?
Move to approve with condition.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve and a second to approve the request. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
David Rotis,
Yes.
Mike Brinkley,
Yes.
Terry Griffin,
Yes.
and Marvin Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think we're on the last case. Last case we'll hear tonight is case number December 22-164GR. This is a request for the use of well water for residential use on the agricultural zone property located at approximately 15911 Salem Road. The applicant is Isaiah Perez. Okay, can we get a staff report, please?
Yes, we'd like to add the staff report as part of the official record.
Please do so.
So this is somewhat of a unique request. We get one of these every 2 or 3 years or so. The request is for well water for residential use. Got the property pulled up on the screen with the red dot. It is a landlocked parcel that has an easement through this front parcel, roughly 14 and a half acres, zoned ag. So let's talk about well water a little bit. So Chapter 8 of the Land Development Code gives our infrastructure requirements. 8.9 specifically deals with the water supply requirements, and that section requires all proposed development to be connected to an enclosed water supply system, with the exception to that to be if the Planning and Zoning Commission and County Commission grant an exemption, and it quotes that those exemptions should be only granted under unusual circumstances. In the past, that's been when a water district can't supply water for a new residential build. In this case, the Public Water Supply District number 2 of Ray County has indicated that they are no longer adding new water meters in Clay County. As far as staff knows and the applicant knows, there's no other water that's available in this area. Staff is recommending approval with one condition. I want to show you the surrounding area. So there's the subject parcel. Here's Ray County. That's why it's served by Ray County number 2. It butts up to Ray County on the east. And then Excelsior Springs is to the southwest. Now, the one condition is that the applicant comply with all Missouri Department of Natural Resource requirements. They require that when you drill a well for residential water use, that you get it tested and it meets certain requirements. Now, staff did think about putting a condition on this case that would require the property owner to hook up to the water supply if it ever becomes available at this location, but we chose not to do that because we haven't added that to the previous well water request cases, but the board could choose to add that condition if you wished. So that's kind of the simple version. Be happy to answer any questions the board members have, and then the applicant is present as well.
Thank you, Kip. Do any of the board members have any questions, comments for staff? Okay, Would the applicant please step forward and state your name and address, please?
Yeah, my name is Isaiah Perez. I live at 3630 North, 63rd Street, Kansas City, Kansas.
Okay, do you have anything else you want to present to support your application? Anything other than was already in the report?
No, I put all my money in this property, so I need a place to live, pretty much.
Okay, do you understand and agree with the staff's report?
Yes.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, any of the board members have any questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that supports the application being heard? I see none. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment that opposes the application being heard? There's none. Okay, we'll move right in here. Can we get a motion and a second to approve or deny the request for the use of well water for residential use in agricultural zone property located at approximately 15911 Salem Road with the conditions set forth on page 3 of the staff report, in which the applicant will meet all regulations and requirements of Missouri Department of Natural Resources and applicable water and fire districts. Can I get a motion, please?
Move to approve with condition.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve the request. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
David Rotis,
Yes.
Mike Brinkley,
Yes.
Terry Griffin,
Yes.
and Marvin Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. That pretty much concludes the cases. Kip, do you have any?
I just have a
comments?
couple comments. The cases from last month, which was the industrial rezoning for Fielding Staten down off Old 210, and Lucas Estates, which was just a small subdivision. Those were both approved by the county commission. Appreciate Marvin filling in tonight. And we will have a meeting January 3rd, so it's the day after the holiday in January. We will have a meeting. So be prepared for that and look for your packets. And bear with me because Angie is no longer with us, so we're doing some of her stuff. So if you see something in your packets that's missing, let me know, and we'll get it to you. We're trying to learn all that stuff she did for us. So I think that's all I have.
Is that it? Okay. We don't have to make a motion to, okay.
Adjourn it.
Let's adjourn.